Today I'm going to do a quick review of customary conversions. The past week, we have been working in the US customary system where we convert or change between different units of length, weight, and capacity such as inches, pounds, and gallons. Previously, we worked in the metric system, which was our King Henry system, where we multiplied or divided by powers of 10 to convert between the units. We're not going to talk about that today. We're going to focus on our US customary system, where we're going to be using different conversion factors or numbers to go from larger to smaller units by multiplying only. Remember, we're going to change the units, but we're not going to change the amounts. For example, if I'm weighing an elephant, the elephant weighs 1 ton, let's say. But if I'm weighing the elephant in pounds, that same elephant would weigh 2,000 pounds. I didn't change the amount of elephant on the scale, I just changed the unit that I'm measuring him in. When we convert or change between different units of measurement, we have conversion factors or numbers that we multiply in order to go from larger to smaller units. In 5th grade, you're only going from larger to smaller units. So the best thing to do is to look at the problem and find out where you're starting and where you're ending when you're talking about your units. In the first problem, how many feet are in 4 yards? We're starting with yards and ending in feet. 4 yards equals a certain number of feet. To find that number, we use our conversion factor, or times 3, to get our answer. If we're starting with 4 yards, we multiply by our conversion factor of 3, and we get 12. So there are 12 feet in 4 yards. Sometimes we'll have to convert 2 times in the problem to get from the unit we start with to the unit we end with. How many ounces are in 2 tons? Well, we have 2 tons, so we're starting with 2 tons and we need to get to ounces. So we need to go from tons to pounds and then pounds to ounces. If I'm starting with 2 tons, that's going to equal a certain number of pounds, which will then equal a certain number of ounces. Remember, I'm changing the unit, but not the amount that I have. To go from 2 tons to pounds, I take my 2 and I multiply by the conversion factor of 2,000. 2 times 2,000 is 4,000. So in 2 tons, there are 4,000 pounds. Now to go from pounds to ounces, I multiply by my conversion factor of 16. 4,000 pounds, which is what I have, which is the same as 2 tons, times 16 will get me the number of ounces. I can use my zeros trick to multiply 16 times 4 and then add the zeros at the end. 16 times 4 is 64, and I add my 3 zeros back into my answer. So in 2 tons, there are 64,000 ounces. Now, what if we have a word problem? Like, Kristen bought 2 gallons of juice. She drank 6 quarts of juice yesterday. What amount of juice is left over? We cannot add, subtract, multiply, or divide different units. So I want to go from my larger to smaller units. Quarts is smaller than gallons, so I'm going to change my 2 gallons to quarts. To go from gallons to quarts, I have to go 1 step away, or 1 unit away, and my conversion factor is times 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. So she has 8 quarts of juice, and if she drank 6 of it, we're subtracting 6 to get a total of 2 quarts left over. We always make sure we use our unit in our answer.